Rusty Wallace took the lead and Ricky Rudd moved into second when Alan Kulwicki took a routine pit stop on lap 138. Both leaders pitted as the number 23 car blew an engine to bring out the caution on lap number 148. Then Rudd beat Wallace out of the pits, and he has the lead as they prepare for green in the 1988 Checker 500 here on ESPN Classic.
The leader is Ricky Rudd, car number 26. Rusty Wallace is second in 27. Third is Mike Alexander in car 12. Fourth is Terry Labonte in number 11. And fifth is the 5 car driven by Jeff Bodine with 154 laps completed. And we have confirmed there must be 5 green laps before that $10,000 bonus is paid. Now let's go to Jerry Punch, who has a report on the driver of this car, the number 17 Tide Machine, Darrell Waltrip.
Well, although Darrell Waltrip started in 16th spot, fellas, he has already lost a lap on the racetrack during the green, and the car was slipping and sliding so badly coming off the corners, they opted to come in during this yellow flag and work on the car. They had it on the jack stands here. They got beneath the rear of the car, and they lowered the rear track bar 1 hole on the right side. Now, by lowering the rear track bar, that will tighten the car up coming off the corners. Waltrip thinks that may be just enough for him to be able to make that lap up, so keep an eye on the car number 17 when we go back to green. That rear track bar is down now. They should be able to shoot off the corners like a bullet.
All right, so we'll watch for that from the number 17 car of Darrell Waltrip. There is the 7 Xerox Ford driven by Alan Kulwicki, and he is in 6th position. Alan, this is Bob Jenkins. You read me?
I got you loud and clear.
Alan, what about the race so far? You're in 6th position. You have led. You're off pit sequence, but how are things going?
Well, we're finally caught up now, Bob. The Xerox Amco Ford Thunderbird's running really good. We had a problem on the pit stop earlier where a lug nut got rounded off on the right rear. We got way behind. We've been playing catch-up ever since, but the car's running excellent. Now I finally got the leaders in sight. Maybe we can make a run at them.
Alan, we're at the halfway point of this race, so you've had 156 laps to assess PIR and find out what kind of a racetrack it is. What have you found out about the racetrack? What problems have you found with it and with the race so far?
Well, I'd say the biggest problem seems to be a little debris on the track. We've had a couple of flat tires already. That seems to be my biggest concern right now. If we can not have any flats and stay out of trouble, I think we've got an excellent chance. The debris on the track really concerns me, and there have been a few lap cars that have gotten in the way, but other than that, it's been a pretty good race for us.
Where's the best place to pass so far?
It's a little bit narrow here, really anywhere you can. I seem to be getting guys going into corners. My car seems to be handling well and staying a little bit lower than them. Everybody's getting a little bit loose here, like I thought. Our chassis seems to be pretty good. So staying underneath them in the corner seems to be the key.
All right, Alan, thank you. We'll let you get back to work. Let's take a look at those drivers and cars that have dropped out of competition in the first half of this race as they begin to line up for the restart in 2 abreast formation. Brett Bodine was the first out with a blown motor. Jimmy Bound retired. So does Joe Ruttman and Eddie Bierschwale in car number 23. And Bierschwale was, of course, the reason that we are under our 6th caution of the day.
Now, Richard Petty was out for quite a while behind the wall, but he now has rejoined the field. Let's go to Jerry Punch in the pits.
Well, Larry McReynolds, the crew chief for Ricky Rudd. And Larry, a great pit stop puts you out in front of Rusty Wallace, but you had a little extra incentive for this pit stop.
Well, that's it. You know, they told us at the drivers' meeting about paying $10,000 for the leader of the halfway point, so we've been talking about it for 20 laps. So put a little fire in him, a little fire in us, and we get the lead. Now all we got to do is lead it for 5 more laps, get that money, and then go on and try to win the race.
Should be very interesting. They got to lead 5 consecutive green flag laps, and Rudd says he's going to do it. He wants that 10 grand.
We will watch and see what happens at the drop of the green flag. That's Ricky Rudd there on the outside in the green car number 26. That leads them down for a restart. The green flies. Rusty Wallace is behind Ricky Rudd, and then Mike Alexander in 3rd position as they go into turn number 1.
And of course, that quick dry down on the inside of the racetrack as a result of the blown engine. But everybody seemed to get through it pretty well. And now Ricky Rudd has opened himself up a pretty good lead over Rusty Wallace. Now Dale Earnhardt is trying to get back on the lead lap once again. Remember, he had just made a pit stop as the yellow flag was coming out, but he did go a lap down.
Rusty Wallace did not have a particularly good restart. Rudd jumped at the start of the drop up the green flag, and Rusty just didn't seem to take off nearly as quickly as Ricky Rudd did. So Rudd is looking good at the moment to pick up that bonus of $10,000.
He certainly is, and I think Larry McReynolds hit the nail on the head when he said they built a little fire under Ricky and a little fire in the guys in the pits, got him out first, so now Ricky knows it's up to him to keep that record stay good out front, trying to collect that $10,000.
Certainly not being challenged in any way at the moment. He has things solidly in the lead.
Here's trouble on the front straightaway.
Oh, several cars are into the wall. This is going to virtually block the entire racetrack. Look at the cars all banged up together, several involved, and we have fire breaking out on one of the cars. A lot of fire seen down there as the smoke begins to clear. We are unable to tell you exactly who is involved in this crash, but we do have some fire that's burning on the racetrack.
I know Rick Wilson's car was in it. I could see his car was one that was involved in the melee here on the front straightaway. The firemen over there very quickly to put the fire out as the leaders come around now, just about have to stop as they go in there because they can't see where they're going.
Yeah, they're going to have to go very, very slowly through this area. I think if they stay to the high side, they're going to get by okay. But boy, just a tremendous crash. The number 31 car driven by Johnny Rutherford is involved in this crash. I think he's the one that had the fire from it. Now, this is the shot of it from our mountain cam. You can see several cars spinning and hitting the wall.
And the car number 4 of Rick Wilson is out in front. The orange car, Michael Waltrip, I believe, was involved. Rick Wilson has brought his car back around with a lot of damage done to the front end. He's on pit road right now. Richard Petty was at the back of the pack, so he comes in there and just stops. And you can see the fire break out on Johnny Rutherford's car, the Slender U, car number 31.
Well, the Rick Wilson car has made its way into the pit area with a lot of damage. There you can see the cars against the inside wall, Michael Waltrip and Johnny Rutherford.
Yeah, that's Michael Waltrip's Country Time Lemonade yellow car, number 30, the one that's behind the two cars on this side, the 31 car of Johnny Rutherford. And is that the car number 10 of
the 03 car?
Okay.
Bill Schmidt, one of the Winston Westa competitor. Let's go to Jerry Punch, who's with Johnny Rutherford.
Some scary moments, Johnny. We're with Johnny Rutherford here. Johnny, first of all, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got bumped around a little bit, but you know, I don't know who got out of shape, but all hell broke loose.
A lot of fire out there. Of course, you smell the uniform safety. Some charring on the back of the uniform. A couple of guys were trying to get out of the car. You were pinned on the inside. They couldn't hardly get to you.
Well, I knew I could come out on the inside, but I hit my fire extinguisher bottle the third time in my career that I've ever remembered to do that. And it went off, and of course I had a hood fire on mine, but it really wasn't anything serious, so I just sat there and waited until everybody got by.
Thankful Johnny Rutherford, Lone Star JR is okay, and Mike Waltrip has climbed out of his car. They're going to try to get that car back on the racetrack. And up pit road, Dick Berggren standing by with Mark Martin. Dick?
Well, Mark, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, just unfortunate accident with the Strollite Thunderbird. The crew had worked real hard. They had the car handling pretty good. We were looking forward to a top 10 finish. It got run over from behind. It seems like if you try to race through them, they come across in front of you, and I run into them. If I try to stop, I get hit from behind. It just hadn't been my year, you know.
This is an unlucky car too. This car has run 6 times and has crashed out 5 times. Jerry Punch has more. Jerry?
The guy's had his trouble this year, and another bad day, unlucky day for the Kodak Oldsmobile for Rick Wilson. Rick, first of all, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What happened out there?
Well, I can't really believe, you know, I think Greg Sachs just had totally lost what he was thinking about. He hit me on the back straightaway, you know, hit me pretty hard on the back straightaway. When we come off of 4 there, I was up underneath him. He just turned into me, spun me around, and that caused one heck of a wreck. Took a lot of good cars out. I don't know what he was thinking about.
Well, an upset Rick Wilson here. He's okay, but he'll have to cool off for a little while. The car heavily damaged. The Kodak Oldsmobile heads back up pit road.
Take another look at the crash from our camera outside of corner number 4 up on the mountain.
Well, as Rick Wilson said, apparently he and Greg Sachs got together, and of course they were running in a thick pack of cars, and once they got together and started spinning around, the smoke blinded everybody else, and so cars went spinning everywhere. Michael Waltrip got involved in it. The car 03 of Bill Smith got involved in it. So as Johnny Rutherford said, it really was a rough one.
But apparently all drivers are okay, and we'll be back with more of our live coverage after these messages. Stay with us.